am so excited to be here with Ian. Thank you so much to PromoEQP for having us. It was kind of funny because when Ian approached me about having this conversation, my response was, I don't really have a strong opinion about 3M. I've worked with you in the past, and it isn't because I've had a bad experience or anything. I know that Misty and I have worked together on several occasions, and you were so helpful. And I know that our local rep here in Chicago, Ben Black, does a fantastic products, but it just isn't something that's nor in the front of my mind. But when I was at a local show, I absolutely grabbed some notes because I use them in my everyday life. And that's why I think this is such a great opportunity to learn about you as a supplier and show to distributors who you are and how you shine and what we can do to work together. So before we get too in depth into this, why don't we go around and introduce each other so that everyone knows who we're talking to?
Yeah, so I am Sarah Fetty. So I am the key account sales executive for all of the PromoEQP accounts. I've worked here for 23 years, so obviously I love Post-it products. I have a wealth of knowledge, and I have a great team behind me as well that will help anything come to fruition.
And I'm Misty Friedrichs. I'm the Director of Sales for 3M Promotional Markets. I lead sales efforts in the US and Canada, and I have been with the company 15 years next month.
Hi, and my name is Elisa Nickel, and I am the Director of Marketing. And I usually tell people that I like to make things pretty. With our outside sales team, our key account executives like Sarah work on email blasts, strategies on how we want to go to market. And obviously with social media the way it is, that's taken off in the last couple of years here. So work heavily with our teams and designers to come to market with all the different products that we have to offer for Post-it.
Let's handle the hot topic first. Supply chain is a mess. How are you handling the supply chain shortages, and what do distributors need to know about purchasing for the rest of the year, next year, and forward?
You know, we're in the same boat with everybody. Our production times are a little bit longer than normal, along with a lot of other companies that are out there as well. We are not doing our 24-hour program right now, so that is one thing that we've had to suspend until the 1st of October due to employee shortages. Like everybody, we're trying to get employees with different incentives that we're offering, and trying to get people back to work is really one of the key focuses that we're working on. As far as the supply chain goes, we have paper. We don't anticipate there's going to be a shortage for us. We forecasted out several months and working obviously very closely with our supply team, and we don't foresee any issues coming with that. Obviously, we're into paper, so for us, it's a very big deal. You know, other than lengthened production times, we have paper, we have inventory. We don't anticipate it to change anytime soon for us. And so we're really looking forward to going into 2022 knowing that we have paper in stock, and it's not hard for us to get it right now. So kind of we would anticipate to keep going through that for the rest of this year into Q1 of next year.
And most of your product is here, right? Made in Minnesota.
It is. Yeah, right. It is. Yep. And so it's not like the nice thing with us in what we do is that our product isn't coming from overseas. And I know that is a big struggle with many people in the promotional products industry. But our paper is produced here, and we have it here in the United States, so it doesn't have to come over on a ship like a lot of times what you hear right now. And so we have it available to us, which is nice so that we don't have to worry about it coming into the country.
When I thought about this series name, We've Got Your Back, one of the ways that we have our customers' backs is we are really proactive in when an order is going to be late. We are on the phones. Our account manager team gets a list every morning of orders that are going to be or missed the date the day before, and we are reaching out to customers. But I just feel like that's something that really sets us apart in having our customers' backs is we are reaching out proactively instead of waiting for the call of, hey, where's my order? Oh yeah, it was supposed to ship 3 weeks ago and it didn't. We're tackling it head on and just trying to be really transparent.
That's amazing that you're taking that forward-thinking approach and being able to reach out to the distributors and the clients who are needing their product before, like you said, before they're looking for it.
A lot of times it's really okay, and people just get accustomed to using the 24-hour email address because that's what they have in their email, when in reality, I could have it in 5 days and be just fine.
I think that being able to communicate with your clients, that's the key, is to make sure no one's caught off guard. No one's got that phone call that says, my event was yesterday, where's my stuff?
Right. And we're asking, clients or distributors to put on their PO the drop dead date. Is this one super urgent? Does this one, do I have a few more days? If we need to expedite the shipping to still meet that date, a lot of times we'll pick up the difference in the cost on the shipping charges because it was our fault that it shipped late. As far as the late ships, I mean, it's by a few days, it's not like weeks to a month, anything like that, but, it could be maybe up to a week or something. So like Misty said, we're just trying to stay very proactive on contacting those distributors each morning to kind of check.
On the 3M website, Mike Roman, chairman and CEO, states, "We use science to improve lives and help solve the world's toughest challenges." As someone who's constantly researching trends, we know that sustainability is a huge concern, especially being focused on by millennials and Gen Z, which are our next round of voters. What is 3M doing to innovate their products and production to reduce their carbon footprint and make sure that their products are both ethically and sustainably made?
I think one of the things I want to make sure that people understand from 3M, so 3M, when you look at the 3M Global website, massive company. Like you said, it's huge. Our business, our 3M promotional products business, is just one drop in the bucket under 3M. So I think a lot of times we get lumped in with 3M. A lot of people associate, well, why can't you get me, last year it was, why can't you get me the N95 masks? All of those divisions are completely separate. But to that point, sustainability is something 3M is really, really big on, and we also are. So all of our paper products are completely recyclable. We have a line that is recycled, and I think overall 3M has a lot of efforts going into that sustainability chain issue, and just they have an entire team. They have a whole website dedicated to it, so I think they're doing amazing work in trying to keep thinking at the forefront to help reduce that carbon footprint and keep going in the right direction.
When I found out who I would be talking to, of course, I did some cyber stalking and found you on LinkedIn. And I loved this one video. If you haven't seen it, go to Post-it, check it out. It's basically a rundown of how the Jonas Brothers are using super sticky Post-it notes to organize their set lists. And I look at that board and my brain goes to lean management. This is such an integral part of how you do that process. How cool. Totally influencer marketing at work, but on a scale that's something that you don't see much in promo. And even though it wasn't geared towards promo specifically, that's something that someone really could share with the client. The question is, they came to Minnesota. Did you guys get to meet them?
We didn't. I know someone in the retail division that did. We missed that opportunity.
How would you communicate that out to the distributors to make sure that seeing these great acts of marketing that you're doing?
What we're trying to do is to take our product and really make it relevant and trend forward. So how can you use a Post-it note in everyday life, but also make it trendy so that you can have it on a social media site where, let's say it's Instagram, and I can post a story. And so it's really taking our product and putting it in real life applications so that people can see how to use it outside of your logo here concept when you print somebody's logo on a Post-it note.
A growing part of our business, and actually pre-pandemic, a growing part of our business was what we would call a functional note. And that is not your logo here. We're all in the promo business. We know what that is. People need it. Great. But we're seeing a growth. Probably 30% of our business now is functional. So that is your door hangers. So maybe it's UPS or speedy delivery, putting a Post-it note on the door saying we missed you. Maybe it is a coupon that's going on a pizza box topper. Maybe it is a beverage coupon getting put on the drink pack inside the store to draw people to that product versus a bunch of coupons laying at the desk or at the checkout. Even just a little 3x3. We have a local food restaurant here that has a drive-through system. You get a note now when you go through the drive-through. It gets put on your side mirror, and then they bring out your meal. We're doing hundreds of thousands in dollars of Post-it notes for just something that simple. So I think really pivoting and focusing on different ways to use has been really coming to the forefront of what we're doing.
That's so cool. And I've seen the Post-its, but I haven't thought about it. So very cool. Sorry, Sarah, go ahead.
No, that's right. I was just going to say, but yeah, like that people want like bang for their buck, I feel like in this day and age. So yeah, if you can combine, a coupon or something in combination with the advertising, they get a 2-for-1 deal. So yeah, form and function being combined together, like Misty said, we've just seen a real growth in that type of artwork.
And you're so right. There's so many interesting things that you wouldn't think about. I remember, Misty, I think it was Expo 2020, where we had a conversation where I have a client whose clients are beer, wine, and spirits. And your Post-its can actually stick on a keg with the condensation, and they can put the date and information on it. And when I walked up to the booth, I thought, oh, this is Post-its. What the heck am I going to do with those? And you immediately gave me a specific case that I could bring to my client to show to their client that, hey, this is how you could use the Post-its to make the restaurants who are getting these keg deliveries make their lives a little easier.
Exactly. And we are growing our case studies. Those were our extreme notes. They're the weather resistant, they feel different. And so, yes, we have a lot of case studies. And I think case studies is a place that we've slowly been growing and being able to get better at. And we continue to do that.
So are those kinds of case studies available on your website, or is that something that someone could request if they had a vertical that they're going after?
Yeah, there are some case studies on the website, and we're always happy to send out random samples. Like, go ahead and test them out, make sure that they're going to work for you, because we know that they will, but we need the customer to be confident in that as well. But yeah, those extreme notes are just super fun. I use them in my garage all the time. But yeah, so case studies are definitely a big part of, just showing people how to use their products in ways that they might not have thought of in the past.
So maybe if a distributor could come to you and say, hey, I have clients in vertical, or I have this situation, without coming to you saying, I need a Post-it note that's 3x3, for full color or whatever, but being able to come up with what is that goal, that's where you guys can work back and figure out what makes sense.
Because of the longevity that we have with a lot of our employees, we are able to take a concern or an issue, and we can find a solution for that. And so I think we're so much more than just sales reps and customer service people. We're solution finders, and I love that about this job. And I think we all do, the team does a very good job with that.
Plus you get an unlimited supply of Post-its.
Well, to speak to what Misty just said too, a lot of times clients don't really know what they want. Here's their logo, here's their website. We have a fantastic virtual sample team that will take that logo and check out that website and create a storyboard of a variety of products, just to kind of show what we could do for them, and that has helped spur a lot of orders.
And we're always being asked what's cool and what's new. And if distributors are out there doing like a quarterly distribute, that would be a perfect thing to insert. Say, hey, maybe you don't have Post-its in your program, but here's all the cool things we could do with them.
You just made a really good point, Jessica. What's new this year? Great, we got another paper color. Post-it notes are well known. It's a great company, but the downside is we're a niche. We know what we do. We focus on it. We do well at what we do, but that doesn't give us the opportunity to expand so much. But programs is an area where you really can grow that. And a lot of people don't think about it. And so that is a new way, or a good way to get into selling Post-it notes. People see them, they use them, and they need more. It's that simple.
And fun tip, if you're merchandising a program, work with 3M to get something that's a little more custom and not in the catalog. It makes you more sticky.
A lot of times when people want Post-it notes, they'll go to a big box store and they buy in blank. And in reality, for about the same cost, or maybe 1 or 2 cents more, you can get a message or your logo or something printed on those Post-it notes that will then be seen over and over again. And so I think sometimes people just don't even know that you can print something on a Post-it note, and they're just used to going to buy them wherever they see them blank.
So we know that you're a big company, like top 100 or 500 to be exact. As such a large company, how do you relate to a small distributor?
So you may have seen in our signatures, in Sarah's signature, 3M Promotion Markets, Precision Press. We have a smaller group of us here at outside that 3M corporate world, and we're the ones handling all the sales, all the customer service, the production, and everything is right here in Mankato, Minnesota. We're manufacturing everything right here in the Mankato, Minnesota area. And so we're actually, a lot of people might think that we have hundreds and thousands of employees. 3M does. But 3M Promotional Markets is actually pretty, we're kind of close-knit like a family. That's kind of how the structure is formatted.
I think the statistic came out that it was 86% of the industry makes under 500,000 a year. So be understanding that you are a smaller division of a larger company is more relatable, I think, because you're working almost as a medium-sized company within a big company.
I feel like in the past we have had a reputation of being very corporate, very stuffy, very square. And we've really been trying to break out of that mold, super stuffy boys club kind of, mentality that people have sometimes when they think about 3M. And so I'm hoping that we are kind of starting to crack out of that shell.
That always makes you feel better when you know that you have this human that you're interacting with.
I feel like that's one thing that Promo does well, is that I truly feel, as big as Promo is we are really a family. And after you travel show after show, you start seeing the same people, and all of a sudden you know their dogs' names and their kids' names. And so it's really about the relationships that we build.
Things are different right now, suppliers. Many companies are getting consumed by large ones, partnering to make groups, and it can be hard to keep track of who's supplying these days. How does 3M position as a supplier, and what do you see your future being in the market?
Yeah, I feel like kind of this last year, with all the COVID stuff, it just made us really think differently about the industry and kind of how to move forward, that we have to, think of new ideas and fresh ways to use our products. But I think, just going forward, like really listening to your customer, what are they hoping to achieve with this promotional piece? Do they want to combine that form and function together? Because we do think that will continue to grow as well. Creative with the artwork, making it look more like the retail stuff, which is a little bit more fun because you can do that on our Post-it notes. They don't have to be boring, from the desk of Sarah. Something that everybody loves. I mean, nobody throws away a Post-it note when they get that as a promotional piece.
Like I said, I went out of my way to grab this one because it had lines on it, and this is how I like a to-do list. So form and function right there. Perfect example.
We've always joked about how we change a lot here. There's always changes happening. And I think I don't think that's specific to us. I think it's everywhere. And I think this last year and a half, I think we've learned as a team to not get complacent, to just always be looking around that next corner, anticipating maybe what's going to be coming, or maybe be ahead of it if we at all possibly can. Adapting and pivoting, I think, are huge. And I think that's something we've learned this last year too.
I think the one thing that we've learned over the last year and a half is that you can get on any kind of Zoom, any kind of call within seconds. And I think pre-pandemic, it was like, well, if you have a big customer, you get on a plane and you go visit them. And so I think taking a step back and really taking technology to be able to use that smart and using the dollars that you have for budgeting and really looking at the best way to spend that. I do think that technology will continue to play in how all companies go to business.
If we learned anything from 2022, it's how resilient our industry can be and how we can shift perspective from trinkets and trash to a necessary supplier of whatever you need. Distributors are looking for partners to keep us moving forward. And what can 3M do to be a partner in supporting the strengths that are defined by the industry?
It's not always going to be that way, and being able to be proactive and kind of come in as a solution, even if, and I might take some slack for this, but even if that solution means you're not going to make that sale that time, it might go to somebody else. I think that being a solution for your customers, and the same for us, being a solution to our distributors, I think sometimes we just get in and solve the problem with them. And I think really if everybody can kind of keep that at the forefront, that we're all in this together, we'll figure it out, that even if you don't get the sale that time because your product wasn't quite right for that project, there will be a time that they come back around and remember, oh, you know what, they helped me in a situation where they didn't have to, and it wasn't necessarily their sale or their product.
I think so many of us probably follow promotional products professionals on Facebook, and so that's one of the things that we watch often. And I feel like since that really became into the forefront over the last year and a half, that people are very willing to say, I need this. I don't know where to get it. I can't provide it. Who can help me? Who can I pass on the referral to? And I feel like that's gotten better over the last year and a half. We used to never hear about passing on a referral. And now it's like I can go on there at any point and say, contact this sales rep at this company and they'll have exactly what you need. And I feel like that has gotten really good. in the communication and building those relationships back with suppliers and distributors.
And you mentioned being a partner. That is everything that we want to convey, is that send us the request and let us dig into it. Let us dive into what it is that the need is. And hopefully we would find a solution. If it's not within 3M, maybe we'll have some ideas. Maybe we'll know some other companies that, hey, you know what, we can't do this, but here's somebody who might be able to. Or have you thought of it this way? I think really, instead of product dumping, we're being a solution. And that is, we reiterate it with our teams, with my sales team, with our account manager team, everybody. We don't want to be product dumpers. We want to be a solution.
One last question, because I'm just very curious, because I know that you do so much more than just Post-its. What is the craziest, coolest, or at least the most memorable project you have ever worked on?
When Extreme Notes first came out, this was back 2018, I think it was. I was like, I really got to test these things out to like really see how cool they are. So it was January of we had a polar vortex in Minnesota. It was like, I can't remember, it was like 40 or 60 below zero. It was crazy. Everything shut down. And I climbed up this massive snow pile up to a light pole, and I put an Extreme Note on there, and it is still on there today. Has not fallen down, has endured multiple winters.
That's amazing.
It is. And we took videos and pictures of it. I've used it in presentations. And it makes you relatable, but it was the best thing I think I've ever done with this company.
That is brilliant. I don't want an updated picture with the dates, just so we know.
I think every once in a while we'll get requests for like thousands of drop ships for, a Post-it note or two to all these drop ships. That's always kind of fun to figure out the logistics of that kind of thing. But we figure it out and we move forward with it. We've had some fun custom shaped Post-it notes over the years. Let's just say that anatomically, we've had some interesting shapes during the pharmaceutical days. We've had some interesting die cuts.
So you really can die cut anything.
Or sometimes you get requests to print some questionable verbiage. We are not allowed to print any profanity. And so we do occasionally get requests for some profanity to be printed on a Post-it note, but yeah, we have to sadly, turn them down, that we can't do that.
I think this should be a challenge to all of our friends at PromoEQP to submit something they think is really crazy and see if it can make the list for next time.
Lately, I've used the slogan, if you can think it, we can print it. And so that's my challenge. If you can think something up, send it our way, and I bet we can print it.
All right, you heard the challenge. We've all been challenged. All right. Is there anything else that you would really love to share with the PromoEQP that we haven't covered yet today?
My goal is to make you guys all look good to your customers. So I'm the behind the scenes girl. And so you guys are the face to your customer, but whatever you need, I got your back. If you need marketing collateral, virtuals, random samples, whatever. But like I said, we just want to make you look good. And that's not just myself, it's our whole team, like our order entry team, our billing team, our account managers, everyone on the production floor. It's like we take great pride in our product and our service that we give to our distributors. And so, yeah, we are here for you, and we want you guys all to look fabulous.
Alyssa, Misty, anything else you want to add on?
I think she summed it up really well.
I agree. I think that's a good note. Yep.
See, Alyssa, we should have had earlier, and we could have done a hashtag. And if you submit your order with a hashtag, then we'll know it came from
That's
this
right.
conversation.
If anybody needs Post-it notes, you call Sarah. She'll hook you up.
That's right. Give me a call.
There is no shortage of Post-it notes in our office.
You're right. No one throws away a Post-it note. If you got one, gosh darn it, you're going to keep that.
And it doesn't go in a junk drawer. Like it sits on a counter. It sits on a desk. Heck, I have them in my car, on my dash. I've got them stashed everywhere.
Ha, 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 ha.